Okay, so as you can see on the picture here, I have been taking a few hits, zombie hits. And what I want to do is I want to regenerate my blood so that my colour returns to the picture. And I think what you'll see, hopefully, is an example of how you can regenerate your blood and return the colour to your picture. Now I'm in a perfect position to be able to do this because I'm in Polana. It's a quiet town but well stocked, and there are very, very few people on this server. In fact, there might only be just me and another person. So I can loot pretty freely as long as I escape the zombies and try and regenerate my blood. Now, one of my goals is obviously to eat and drink as much as possible. You need to have your food and water levels and drink levels up as high as you can have them. If you get them as high as you can, then what happens is your blood levels will start to regenerate at a much faster pace and colour will start to return to the picture. So I'm going to wander around and find some food and water or some soda, and then what we can have a look at is how much colour returns to the picture and how quickly it takes. So I'm going to go and have a loot, and then I'll be back with you when I find some more food and I start to see some colour shifting and be able to see how long it takes. Okay, so as you can see, my vision is still pretty grey, but I'm looting along the main street and I've come into here, and there are some baked beans, which are excellent, and some sardines. And so that's another thing I can eat. And now, wonderful thing about baked beans is that they are excellent for fluids as well as food. So I'm going to eat these baked beans, open them with the can opener. Now, I did come across a can opener, which was pretty lucky really, because that saves you a good 30% of your food. You can open it with a kitchen knife, but you lose about 30%. You can open it with an axe and lose about 50%. So eating baked beans is excellent for recovering blood if you are lucky enough to find some baked beans. Okay, so here's another can of sardines. I just ate the last can. I'm going to eat this can as well. It's so important to get as much food in you as you can until actually you get a sign on the screen saying your stomach is full, or your stomach, is just crammed. Alright, so make sure you get as much stuff in there as possible. So here's this can. I've got my can opener. I'm going to open the can. I'm going to eat those right now. So as you can see, I'm in the main street, and having all these buildings here is excellent if you want to regenerate blood, because you can just go along here and loot all the kitchens and find the drink and food. As I was saying, you need to keep yourself fully stocked, so it's a great location to regenerate your blood, finding a main street like this, and especially one you've got to yourself. So an excellent area to regenerate your blood. Okay, so I've just found another can of sardines and spaghetti. I'm going to eat those, but I want to mix it with some water, and I've got to make the dash across here. Now there's a water pump over in the middle of the town square here, but there were zombies around here, so I was slightly cautious and I haven't got a weapon to deal with them. So again, sometimes you'll find yourself in a position where you want to regenerate blood, but the reason why you do is because you've actually been attacked. So you tend to be a bit weaker, because you haven't had a weapon to deal with those zombies who are attacking you. So what I'm going to do is dash across here, try and get some water, and then finish off those cans. It's quite good to mix it, so you've got water and food, so you don't fill your stomach up with one thing. So try and get a good mix as we're regenerating this blood. Now there's a little bit of colour left in. It's probably been about 15 minutes. Okay, so I've also filled up my water bottles here, you can see. So I can take swigs of those as I eat food, as I move around the town. So I can mix it up. So I've drunk, and I'm going to go across there to these little townhouses and see if I can find some more food. And also eat my can of sardines and my baked beans. Okay, so I'm eating even more food. And I've had no sign on this little section down here as to my stomach being full. So I'm just carrying on eating and drinking and mixing it up. Now there's a supermarket just up the road from where I am, so I'm going to pop up there Okay, so I've just eaten a whole can of food again and drunk some water, and I've got this sign down here that says I feel really full. That is what you're looking for. So now all your water and food should really be as high as it can be, and therefore what that means is you'll be regenerating at 3 times the rate that you would do if you were just kind of average. So the colour will return to the screen and the vision will sharpen and will regenerate our blood a lot quicker. But that will fall, so you have to keep eating. You have to maybe give it maybe a few minutes, but then have some more food and some more drink and keep it full. Keep full, that's the point. Then you regenerate blood a lot quicker. Alright, another key thing for regenerating blood is resting. Okay, so what you don't want to be doing is running across country at speed. You're going to be slowly moving around buildings, as I said, that contain food and drink, rather than stressing yourself out. And you certainly don't want to be engaging with any zombies if you can avoid it. That is if you don't have a handgun where you can just shoot them at distance. So you want to try and reduce the stress on your body. Okay, so I've come to a supermarket, and this is a great place to come if you are regenerating your blood or trying to regenerate your blood. And as I wander around here, you better see that there are potentially quite a bit of food, so we'll have a look. And I'll be disappointed if there isn't. There's a soda, there's some ammo there, which might be quite handy. Now that is good ammo, but you can see in the distance I've got a zombie coming at me. I didn't want to have to do this, but I'm going to engage with this. There we go. Took him out. Don't really want to have to do that when you're regenerating blood. Okay, so I'm coming out into the open, and there's a red car down there in front of me, and you can see that it's red. The colour is beginning to return to the world. In fact, things are looking pretty rosy. So I'll put the time up here on the screen, how long it's taken for things to look a lot better. It certainly does look a lot better. There's a little way to go, yeah, but it would seem that I have regenerated a fair amount of blood. So that is your guide on how to regenerate blood in DayZ, and I will just hang around a bit longer to see if I can see the full effect. But I think we're getting there. You can see, look, the colour is so much better, and only a short time ago was it grey. So there are some basic things you need to do if you want to regenerate blood. Now, you can watch the video again, but I'll quickly recap them here for you. So we've got eat lots of food, drink lots of drink. Okay, make sure you're not running around like a madman. Find yourself a good location where you've got lots of supplies of food. So Polana is an excellent example. It's a little town, but it's got a high street supermarket, as you can see here, and you can find cover. Okay, so you're in a situation where you don't actually have to do a lot, and ultimately what will happen is, as you eat and your stomach says you're full, and you're looking out for these signs on your instructions here, look out for I'm feeling full, and then you know that your levels are very high and that you'll regenerate blood, and you'll better get your character back to normal. And as you can see here, that has worked a treat. Okay, so it's a little bit further on, and you can see here the day is looking fine. Now that is you're probably largely regenerated here. This is a excellent vision. You can see it's clear and crisp, and so that, I'm going to put the time on the screen, is as much time as you need. It's not a quick fix, and you've got to be persistent with your eating and your drinking, but you'll eventually get there, and then you'll be back to how it looks when you first spawn. So that is a comprehensive guide on how to regenerate your blood in DayZ.